It was late, long past midnight, the world silent except for the faint hum of the refrigerator in the next room. Emma found herself sitting on the edge of her bed, the moonlight slanting through her curtains, casting odd shapes on the walls like secrets waiting to reveal themselves. She had been here before, in this same spot, her mind spiraling down familiar paths, wrestling with the discomfort of feeling both overwhelmed and invisible. In that quiet moment, her reflection in the dark window seemed more like a stranger, a ghostly echo peering back at her, almost mocking. It struck her that she had become a master of disguise, wearing shells like armor, each one crafted for moments when real vulnerability was too daunting to bear. Friends saw her as confident, her family described her as unwavering, but each shell told its own story, a different mask for different moments. Life, it seemed, had almost turned into a stage play, with Emma slipping seamlessly into whatever role was needed, never lingering too long on any one identity lest someone noticed the facade cracking. The cracks, however, began to show themselves when she least expected, in those eerie hours like now, when the rest of the world slept and her thoughts dared to speak their truths. She had believed all along that these shells were necessary, a way to fit into the myriad of expectations life set for her. Yet, these layers had also diluted herself with each addition. The essence of who she truly was grew fainter, swallowed whole by personas she adopted but never truly owned. They started harmlessly enough in school to blend in, at work to climb the ladder, with friends to belong. Yet there was something innate within her, something tiny but fierce, which knew these shells were slowly suffocating her true self. That same fierce whisper became a roar when she understood how caging they were, leaving her unfulfilled and yearning for a reality where she wasn't confined by the weight of not measuring up. And then, one day, it all changed. It started innocuously, over a coffee shared with an old friend who once knew her well, back before the shells started piling on. As they talked, Emma noticed something disarmingly familiar in her friend's laughter, a sound untainted by pretenses. The friend asked her a simple question, "Emma, who are you truly?" And though it was meant genuinely, it sliced through the layers, threatening the veneer of self-assuredness she wove so tightly. In an instant, a flood of emotions overwhelmed her, not unlike the wave of panic one feels when waking from a dream that felt irreparably real. It was a question as stark as the black sky on a moonless night, posing a challenge she hadn't anticipated but could not ignore. It demanded a truth she wasn't sure she could yet give. She stammered through a semblance of an answer, but deep inside, Emma knew the inquiry had pulled a thread loose. That night, back in the sanctuary of her room, with only the moon as her witness, she felt the rupture within turn to resolve. Maybe the shells, all of the identities she wore, weren't masks of protection, but layers of other people's happiness she attempted to replicate. Each shell took her further from herself, further from the dreams and desires whispered by her own heart. She closed her eyes, uncomfortable but certain. If these shells could be shed, one by one, perhaps she would find what had been neglected. Perhaps she would finally meet the child within her, the one who felt deserving of love, not because of who she pretended to be, but for the very core of who she was. A child who had been quieted by the noise of expectations and images, a child who simply wanted to laugh unguardedly. Emma realized she was not broken by this discovery. She was given an opportunity, an empty canvas yet to be painted, free from the borrowed colors of others. A canvas that only she could fill with the hues of what made her heart sing, not just for the world's approval, but for her own. The path to discovering yourself is littered with ghosts of what you have been and the personas you've tested. But those shadows can lead you back, whispering the truths you've buried but were never meant to lose. It's in those moments of unraveling when you can choose to confront the illusions and finally stitch together the fragments into something beautiful and profoundly real. This time, there weren't going to be quick fixes or new disguises. There would be reflection, perhaps tears, and genuine happiness unfettered by who she felt she had to be. Emma understood it was about forgiving herself for what had been allowed, to gift herself the grace to be fragile, even in her strength. As the first light of dawn stretched its fingers across her window, signaling a new day, Emma knew she was beginning a journey. the most important kind of journey. This wasn't about forging new shells or playing new roles, but dissolving them, feeling the warmth of morning across her own skin again, courageously allowing herself to be seen, raw and imperfect. In the silence of her retreating thoughts, Emma whispered a quiet promise to her own reflection, to nurture and embrace that core part of herself, the child and the adult who longed for authenticity, who wished to create a life deeply resonant with her truth, a life imperfect, yet fulfilled. As you listen to this, perhaps there is a part still whispering within, that voice asking, "Who are you beneath it all?" Dare to peel back the layers, to illuminate the vulnerabilities, and let the moonlight or the dawn reveal the untold story waiting to breathe. It's time to reclaim the purest essence of who you really are and carry that into the world, glowing as only the truth can. With each layer shed, let it be a blessing of newfound freedom and an invitation to a truer, fuller existence. What begins as emptiness is often just space to hold something more profoundly precious, a chance to rebuild, embrace, and cherish what makes you beautifully, unquestionably you. You find yourself on this journey of introspection. Think of it as a dance with your past. Each step forward is guided by the echoes of where you've been, but also by the rhythm of where you're meant to go. Embracing who you truly are means acknowledging the complex tapestry of experiences that have shaped you, the joys, the heartaches, the triumphs, and the losses. They are all threads woven into the fabric of your identity. Consider the ways in which you've grown, how each decision and each moment of courage has sculpted the person reflecting in the mirror. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real, honest, and ever evolving. In acknowledging your imperfection, you uncover the space where growth happens. Let your authenticity shine brighter than any facade. Maybe there's a passion you've set aside, a dream kept quiet for too long. Let this be the artistic space to breathe life back into those dreams, to voice them loud enough to echo in the corridors of infinity. Your passion is an intrinsic part of your soul's voice. When you honor it, you ignite a light powerful enough to illuminate even the dimmest corners of doubt. Believe in the courage resting within you. It has been there all along, waiting patiently to be called upon. Each choice, each brave stance you take, builds the bridge to a more meaningful tomorrow. You have always had the strength. Now, it's simply a matter of trusting yourself to release it. Let this be your mantra. With each step forward, I am alive, I am whole, I am free.